Flyers. Doug Zimmer has to hold the ball, the wind blowing as it is, and Allgaier's into the football. It's coming down to Summers center deep, about 6 yards in the end zone. He'll catch it and down. The tailback is Billy Fox, 5'9", 160, a freshman from Oceana, West Virginia, and his parents are here watching this game. On the first play, it's a fullback draw. Lambert, he's hit immediately at around the loss. From the I formation, Bercier, the quarterback, has Matt Walker, a flanker to the right, in motion toward the left side. It's a running play straight ahead. Again, it's Lambert going over center, and yards to go for the Spartans at their own 17-yard line. From the left hash mark, Bercier calls the signals. The Flyer five-man front digs in. Bercier drops back, hands the ball off to Billy Fox, trying to sweep the left side. He's hit and goes down at around the 21-yard line. As
Tory tested the Flyer line 3 times and got about a yard and a half out of the whole situation.
Bercier, the quarterback, is also the Dubuque punter, hitting a low punt. Hits a Dubuque roll, though, at the 48, rolls inside the 40. The 2 running backs who did not start in last week's game. Keys is wide to the left. From the right hash mark, Morris drops back 3 steps, wants to pass on the first play of the game, throws over the middle, it's incomplete. He 150 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions on the season for Todd Morris. Jackie Green lines up now as the tailback behind the fullback, Tim Norbert. Wide left and wide right. It's a pitch back to Green. Behind a Norbert block, now turns the ball up toward the middle of the field and lunges forward to around the 44-yard line. Green lines up as a slot to the left. Settles back into the I formation. Keys wide right, Mouche wide to the left. On 3rd and 3, Morris handing off to Green, and Green is hit right now behind the line of scrimmage. Tackled perhaps for a loss by Mark Thatcher. 12 punts for a 29.7-yard average. His longest is 52 yards. He'll have the wind to his back. Billy Fox is back in single punt safety at the 12-yard line. Kroll bobbles the punt, the snap, but there's no rush. He calmly picks it up and kicks the football down to Fox at the 25, and Fox gets to around the... So the Spartans have the ball for the second time in this game. 1st and 10 from the Spartan 26. Bercier, the quarterback, looks over the Dayton defensive line. Hands the ball off on a running play to Terry Lambert. The Dayton opponents 47% conversion rate on 3rd down. Bercier drops back. The rush is on. He throws out into the flat left side, incomplete by Custom Lube and Oil. At Custom Lube and Oil, they still don't give you time to miss your car. Bercier hits a low line drive, hits at the 38, again takes a Dubuque roll inside the 30 and goes out of bounds at around the Spartans. Charlie Mouche goes out wide to the right. James Keys comes wide to the near side on the left. Again, the starting backs of Norbert and Green are in the I. Morris has the snap, gives it to Norbert, running straight ahead, powering his way across the 35.
Straight at them, and he picks up about 8.
Norbert and Green in the I. 5-man front for Dubuque. Hand off to Green, big hole left side. He's out to the left on the open to the 40, across the 45 to the 50, and he's finally hit in Dubuque territory at the 46. Jeff Smeekle, the safety out of Berwyn, Illinois, a freshman.
And knocked young Mr. Smeekle right on his behind.
18-yard gallop for Jackie Green. 1st and 10 Dayton at the Dubuque 46. Sideline left, open field to the right. Morris drops back, wants to throw, looking deep, going down the field for Mouche. He leaps. He can't hang on. He was double covered, and good defensive coverage deep by Dubuque as Smeekle. So it's 2nd and 10 for the Flyers at the Spartan 46-yard line from the left hash mark. I formation running backs. Morris hands the ball to Green, and Jackie had trouble hanging on to it, and he was kind of stopped in his tracks. It looked like, but so far a half quarter has gone yet, and Dayton has mounted very little offense at this point, excepting Jackie Green's 18-yard run a moment ago. 3rd and 12. Morris to throw over the middle. Keys dives but can't get the ball. It's incomplete. So it's going to be a short punt that first time. Less than 30 is his average. Fox again back. Kroll hits a better punt this time. It's high, coming down at the 15, bounding inside the 10. The Flyers going to down this ball inside the 5, and they will do it around the 4-yard line as Tim Musselman was able to get down the field and put it down inside the... Bercier coming into this game had thrown for 352 yards on the season, 39 of 88. No touchdowns, 8 interceptions. They'll run the ball this time, and it's Terry Lambert, the little fullback, I think gets the call, running right into the red-shirted Dayton defensive unit. Lambert for Dayton. The second down, 10 yards to go. The tailback, Lambert, 2 yards deep in the end zone. This is Lambert taking the handoff, and he is stacked up immediately right there at the 5-yard line.
It would not take much to bring that thigh bruise back.
Steps back, takes it at the 43 to the 40, jitterbugs his way to the 37, inside the 35, hustling for the sideline, hurdles a tackler at the 31, and gets into around the 29-yard line. So Zimmer did a little dipsy-doodling. He zigged left and zagged right, and finally picked up nice yardage goal line. Norbert and Jones comprise the backfield for Dayton. It's a handoff to Norbert trying to get outside, and a nice defensive play made there by for Norbert. 2nd and 8 for Dayton at the Dubuque 27. The ball equidistant between sidelines. Morris calls the signals, pitches the ball back to Green, who's back into the game, and Jackie gets nowhere. He tried to run off the right side, and good. Jones the fullback, Green the tailback. Tim Eubank wide right, James Keys wide to the left. Morris takes 2 steps back on the option, pitches the ball to Green. It's a sweep to the left, the 25, and he's corralled at the 23-yard line. He picked up only 4. It'll be short of a first down as Green could kick from the left hash mark. A crossing wind from left to right. There's the snap. Hollinger gets it down. Dubuque puts his foot through the ball. It's up. It's high enough, long enough, and good enough. And so with 5:15 remaining, Dubuque, nothing. The Flyers kicking off with a 3-0 lead. John Peavy for Dubuque fields the ball at the 10. Peavy straight ahead to the 20 and upended at the 22-yard line. So the Spartans with a 1st and 10 operating at their own 23. Terry Lambert and Billy Fox in the I formation for the Dubuque Spartans out of Dubuque, Iowa. Bercier, the quarterback, barks out the signals. He'll throw a pass left side. It's incomplete. He tried to 3. Dubuque, nothing. Bercier looks over the Dayton defense. Long count. And the snap. Handing the ball off to Billy Fox, and Fox is upended right now by strong safety Paul Reese, a sophomore from Miamisburg who came in and out along 14 for the Dubuque Spartans. From the right hash mark, Matt Walker in motion to the left side, and a whistle. And also played some wide receiver before returning to the signal calling duties this year. Here's a quick kick. It's Terry Lambert kicking the ball out across the 40, takes a Dubuque roll across the 45 up to the 47-yard line. So the Spartans said, hey, our Bears will operate a drive here in Dubuque territory. From the left hash mark, Todd Morris quarterbacking, handing the ball off to Dave Jones. Jones running straight ahead up to around the 43-yard line. 2nd down and 7 for the Flyers at the Spartan 44. Sideline left, open field to the right. Misdirection, handoff, Jackie Green spinning away from trouble. He's in traffic outside of the clear now to the 35, into the open to 30, down the sideline to 20, the 15, to 10. He'll go into the end zone. No, they say he stepped out of bounds, upfield at around the 14-yard line. They'll bring it back to the 14, but Green has broke off. Jones and Green split backs now for Dayton. Moucher wide to the left, Keys wide to the right. Hand off to Jones, big hole, and he lunges his way inside and down, and 4 yards to go for the Flyers, the 8-yard line. I formation running backs. Morris gives the ball to Jackie Green, lowering his head, pounding his way to around the 6-yard line, is at the Dubuque 6-yard line. Morris looks over the defensive unit. The Spartans with a 6-man front digging in. There's the snap. They hand off to Norbert over right tackle, needing a yard. He's to the 5, inside the 5. Looks like he's got a first down to around the 4-yard line. Full house backfield. Collins, Norbert, Jones. Todd Morris into his cadence, handing the ball off to the running back, Norbert, off the left side. He has stood up after perhaps a yard gain at best on the left side.
Tremendous blocker down in that inside that 5.
2nd down, goal to go from the 4. There's the handoff to Norbert off the right side, spinning toward the goal line. He's in for the touchdown.
Behind Tony Petrucci. Petrucci just kicked this man back into the end zone, and that's all that Tim Norbert needed.
1:02 remaining in this first quarter. There's the snap. Hollinger puts it down. Dubuque kicks it up, and it's good. In the field with the score, Dayton 10 and Dubuque nothing.
Got Chris on the board.
John Allgaier's kick coming down at the goal line to Rainer Summers. Summers at the 10-yard line, angling toward the 14, and he has put down at around the 14-yard line. Good coverage again by Gary Kiesel. Second time game scores for Dayton, and it's a 10-0 Flyer lead. Dubuque has the ball at its 15-yard line. From the left hash mark, Bercier wants to throw that quick out. It's incomplete. It was in the hands of the intended receiver. Bird and Glasgow are the running backs in the I formation for Myron Smith's Dubuque Spartans. Matt Walker, flank to the left, comes in motion now to the near sideline. Bercier drops back, throwing toward the sideline, deep, and it's incomplete.
Not been a factor, at least not in the kicking game so far, yet it has been strong and a very consistent 14, 15-mile-an-hour wind out there.
Bercier on third down, dropping back. Flyers have a rush on, throwing out on the flat to the left side. It is incomplete. Walker was the intended receiver. Dayton had some good cut of first quarter, and the Flyers owning a 10-0 lead. There's the snap back. Bercier fields it, hits it at the 10. Low liner again, keeping it low. Bouncing at the 50. Again a Dubuque roll inside the 40, inside the 35, and out of bounds. 51 being his longest, and he just equaled it there. The Flyers with Norbert and Green in the backfield. Dayton has the ball, 1st and 10. At the Flyer 34, Morris dropping back and throwing it out of bounds on the down. 10 yards to go for Dayton at the Flyer 34. Sideline to the right, open field to the left. Morris pitches the ball back to Green. Up the middle, found a hole, spinning and twisting his way to the 39-yard line. A pickup of 5 for Jackie Green. Right now they're facing third down, 5 yards to go. Running backs are split. There's a handoff to Green, needing 5. Jackie hurdles his way for a first down across the 45, up to the 47-yard line as Green, with a good bit of running, gives the Flyers a first down. That'll be the Flyers with a 1st and 10 at their own 46 from the left hash mark. Keys in the slot to the right, Mouche wide to the right. Running backs are in the deuce formation. Morris wanting to throw a sideline route. It's incomplete. Nearly intercepted by Chris Kelly, left. Flyer 31. Norbert and Green line up in the I with Mouche wide to the right. Morris dropping back. Todd wants to put it upstairs. Comes over the middle. Incomplete. He threw it poorly. Far for Dayton in this game.
He's 0 for 5 so far.
Wide out left and a wide out right. And now Green from the tailback position comes in motion near sideline. It's all a decoy, though, as the handoff comes to Norbert. Eubank comes in wide to the left and Keys wide to the right. On 3rd and 25. Morris needs to complete one here now and make it for a long one. Morris dropping back, good pressure, throwing over the middle. Eubank, incomplete. A good breakup there.
Statistics, 0 for 6. So we've seen the horse come.
Punt safety to return for the Spartans. Standing at around his 33. Kroll kicks relatively high, so we'll see how the wind affects him. It is very high. Wind affecting it. He was hit on the play. A flag is down. It could be a penalty on Dubuque. The Flyers, though, going to get the ball on a fumble punt return at the 29-yard line. Fox had it and dropped it. So we had all kinds of habit at the Spartan 34. From the left hash mark. Norbert and Green in the I. Todd Morris barks them out, pitches the ball back to Green, trying to sweep right. Jitterbugs his way to the 35, turns the corner, 33. That's about all. Maybe a yard gain as Dubuque did a good jumping at the bit to get back in there after that thigh bruise kept him out of last week's game against Samford.
He thought he was well enough to play last week, Mick.
2nd and 10. Again, it's Green. Hurdles a tackler at 30, spins his way to the 25, and goes down to the 25-yard line. A spin and a hurdle. Picks up about 9 yards for Green. Collins, Norbert, and Jones. Morris now steps under center, Mike Pitrow. There's the snap to hand off to Norbert. Lunges his way inside the 25-yard line. He's got a first down at around the equidistant between sidelines. The Flyers have it at the Dubuque 23. Backs are in the I. Hand off to Green. Straight ahead. Big hole inside the 15, down to the 10-yard line, then to the 9-yard line. A 14-yard run, and the Flyers simply controlling the line of scrimmage there. So it's 1st and goal to go, just inside the 10-yard line. I formation backfield. Jones in at the tailback. He gets the ball. He jitterbugs his way up for a couple of Spartan 8-yard line. Norbert, the fullback. Green now back in at tailback. Morris on the option, pitches the ball back to Jackie, trying to sweep right to the outside of the 5, down to the 3, into the goal line. He's in for the touchdown. He just got in the corner of the end zone.
That's the one where you watch the pylon. It depends on whether it goes
wide to the left, and so the number 13 has bit Dubuque. He misses, and with Gene Chill back at Welcome Stadium, Dayton leading 16-0. Dave Oberst will kick off. Oberst has been known to kick him short, squib him, and he hits this ball short a little longer than he wanted to. Billy Fox takes it at the 25, goes backward, and is caught at the 20-yard line. Oberst, the kicker, made the tackle at the 20-yard line. You talk about being fired up. Scrimmage the 20-yard line. Dayton leading 16-0. Bercier backs out the signals. The Flyers showing blitz, now backing off at the line backing position. A long cadence, and Bercier drops back to throw. He looks, he rushes, he is scrambling, and he'll go down for a loss. Back to the 19-yard line. He picked up on sale now. Second down, 11 yards to go for the Spartans. I formation backfield. Bercier wants to throw, coming over the middle, and a nice grab for our first completed pass of the game. It's Ken Morton who makes the grab at the 30 yards per catch, and this time he picked up 16. The Spartans have a first down at their own 35. Left hash mark. Bercier drops back. Penalty on the play. Hold ever. Don't call them the Denver Broncos.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Another bug in your ear.
Yep. And we play DePaul next week, right?
First and 15. Bercier throwing, incomplete, and almost picked off by linebacker Tenson. Ken Morton out wide to the right. John Peavy comes wide to the left. Sideline on that left side. Bercier will throw. Over the right to Morton. Nice grab, Morton at the 44-yard line. He picks up 14. He'll be short of a first.
Third and long. A nice connection between Bercier.
Come out in an I formation backfield. Lambert and Fox, the running backs, and Lambert has the first down. A quick hitter to the fullbacks.
Up till now, Dayton has owned it.
I formation again. Walker, the flanker, coming in motion near sideline. Steve Bercier again hands the ball off to Terry Fox, and this time Rainer Summers comes wide to the left side, and Walker's in the slot to the right. Steve Bercier barks them out. Flyers in a 5-2 defense. Strong safety Paul Reese also at the line of scrimmage. They hand off on a running play straight ahead. Andres, a little bigger than
yeah, he finally found somebody who was bigger than.
Here's an option play as Bercier pitches the ball back to Fox, trying to sweep the left sideline. He turns the corner.
In there at the linebacker spot, and Maitland's getting a rest.
Fourth down, 5 yards to go. Bercier will punt. Good punt again at the 10 to the 5, and it goes into the end zone. They couldn't save it in time. It'll be a touchback on this series from the 20-yard line. Norbert and Green, the running backs, but Hollinger is the signal caller. Pitro, the center, snaps it off to Hollinger, who hands the ball to Green, who breaks a tackle and who gets to the 24-yard line to pick up.
Because if you do, you're going to be laying on the ground, and he's by you.
Norbert and Green line up in the I behind Scott Hollinger. Hollinger on the option, pitches it back to Green, sweeping near side. He's double teamed, and he goes down. A bit wide to the left. Keys has 4 catches this year. Mouche leads the way with 12. Running backs in the deuce. Norbert left, Green right. Hollinger, bootleg right, will run the ball to the 30, to the 35, the 40, and they say he stepped out of bounds at the 37, and now a flag. 2 flags go down after Hollinger was well out of bounds on the Dayton sideline. He was already off Spartan 48. Sideline right, open field to the left, where James Keys is stationed. Out wide, split 15 yards to the left. Hollinger handing it off to Dave Jones, tunnels his way to the 45, and Helmet crashes his way to the 44. He completely blew one defender off. The 5:10 remaining second quarter. Dayton
is rushed down here and got it fixed. Maybe next time we're home for homecoming, the whole thing will be working for you.
2nd and 6 for Dayton. Hollinger retreating under pressure, throws a screen pass to Green. Jackie at the 40, spins his way to the 38-yard line, but he couldn't get free. He had to jump around one man. Petrucci and Paul. They book in the Flyer line, which has controlled the line of scrimmage. I formation, handoff Green. Jackie running his way inside the 35 and to the 33-yard line. He turned his back on the defense. 2nd and 5 for Dayton, 33-yard line. Dave Jones is now in for Green at tailback. Norbert remains the fullback, and when Flyers are offside, Charlie Mouche was well. Keys is in as a flanker, split 15 yards wide to the left. On 2nd and 10 for sophomore quarterback Scott Hullinger. The handoff to Jackie Green, and he slipped right at the... Mouche is wide right, Keys wide to the left. 3rd and 10. Hullinger at quarterback. Drops back. Pumps, throws, down for Mouche. It's incomplete. Again, he threw it behind him. Charlie Trotter.
Flyers passing attack faltering a little bit. They're 1 of 8 in the completion department.
Let's see how Kroll delivers here. The rush was on. Kelly tried to block it, could not block it. A fair catch has been called for by Fox. A flag goes down as Fox tried to make the grab at the 14-yard line. Doesn't look good for Dayton here with flags at its 20-yard line. Bercier at quarterback, wanting to throw, going over the right side. He's got a man for a completed catch as it was made by Bruce Glass. 6 yards to go for the Spartans at their own 24. Sideline right, open field to the left. Again, Bercier throws over the middle. He got it tight end, Matt Walker. Walker makes the grab at the 30 up to the 32-yard line.
Gets pressure to him to keep those completed passes down.
Bercier working against the clock here, throws another pass to the right side, and this ball has been hauled in for a nice catch. It was just a pregame shower, which made the field very, very slippery and very wet, but it's drying a little bit here now. As right now, it's a beautiful afternoon for this football game. Bercier back to throw. Over the middle. He's got Morton again, and Morton hauls it in at the 41-yard line. Looks like another Dubuque first down as Dubuque is running with one. Sean Collins and Bruce Glasgow are the running backs in the eye with Walker in the slot to the right. Bercier throwing to the right. Out of the backfield. It's Collins. Makes the grab at the 45 to the 49. He's near the midfield marker, but the Flyers put the tackle on him at the 4.5 of the second quarter. Quick snap to Bercier, drops back, and Ray hits him. It was a fumble. The ball is loose. The Flyers are going to recover this ball. I think it's going to be Dayton. Let's see. Wait a minute here now at the 35-yard line as Ray came right on through, made the big hit. Morton comes wide to the near sideline. Bercier again to throw the football. Now he hands it off on the delay. Collins gets the call. Dave, check that. 5-yard line. 42 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Flyers have 10 men up on the line of scrimmage. They're coming. Bercier gets it off, though. Pretty good kick. Zimmer not going to have any part of it. Lets the ball trickle out of bounds. A good... Scott Hullinger, a sophomore from Lima Senior High School, in the game at quarterback. Hands the ball off to Green. Jackie running over the right tackle. Out across the... Perhaps the Flyers will get a play off here before the half if they snap it quickly. And there is the snap. Hullinger rolls right. The play will go as Hullinger rolling right runs the football out of bounds and around the 40-yard line. So the Flyers just the first half here this afternoon from sun-splashed Welcome Stadium, where the Dayton Flyers losses. The Spartans have scored only 12 points in 4.5 games of football. Settle back and enjoy the second half over WHIO. Dayton Springfield. Bercier is into the football, hitting it low. A line drive comes down to the 20-yard line. Mouche picks it up at the 12, to the 15, to the 20, to the 25, across the 30-yard line, upfield to around the 34, and there is a flag on the return. Total yards better than a 3-to-1 ratio. So it's first down and 10 yards for Dayton at the 18-yard line. It's a running play on the first play of the third quarter. Tim Norton, 3. Ball equidistant between sidelines. Mouche wide to the right side. Dave Jones, the tailback, steps up into the deuce position on the left. Hand off to the fullback, Norbit, and Tim Ops out of the deuce. The right setback, Jones, now heads into the tailback eye position. And the handoff to Dave off the right side between center and guard. Jones gets up to around 31. Norbit and Green back in the game at the fullback and tailback positions. Out of the eye, the handoff to Jackie Green through the middle up to the 40-yard line to the 41. He picked up 10 yards on a quick burst of speed straight ahead.
Gone at all for the Flyers, and that takes something away from your offense. And so we'll see what they do here in the third quarter.
First and 10. Morris wanting to throw over the middle, looking for Keys. It's incomplete. And a flag has been thrown back near.
This game, no pressure at all, and they're having difficulty.
Sideline right, open field to the left. Jones now steps up as a running back on the left side. Hand off to Norbert off the left tackle. Big running hole there for Norbert to power his way inside the 40 to around the 37-yard line. 6 big yards. Raveled out freshman here today. Gain of 7 at 2nd and 3. Running play to Jones. Dave hit immediately at the 3rd goal for Dayton. Big 3rd down conversion awaiting the Flyers. They're completing 59% of their 3rd down tries this year. There's the handoff to Norbert off the left side. He's got a 1st down as he powers his way to the 31-yard line. Inside lines. Keys in the slot to the right. Mouche wide to the right. Backs are in the I formation as Todd Morris, the quarterback, looks over the defense. Takes the snap. Rolls right. Throws the football. He's incomplete. He tried to hit Tony Petrucci, the tight end, on a cross. Running backs are split. Jones and Norbert. Keys is wide to the left, double tight end alignment. There's a handoff to Jones, misdirection play, tries to cut back up inside the 30 to around the 27.
If they don't get it here, you might see him go for it on 4th down.
3rd down, 6 yards to go for Todd Morris. On the option, pitches the ball back to Green on a sweep to the right to 25, spins his way to the 20, inside the 18, down to the 15-yard line. 1st down as he's put down at the 17-yard line. A 10-yard run from Jackie Green gives the... That's a little north of Peoria.
A little north.
Keys now wide to the left. The backs are in the eye. Hand off to Jones, the fullback, running headlong inside the 5th. Dayton has the ball at the Spartan 13-yard line. Green now steps into the tailback position in the eye. Morris handing the ball off to Jackie, running straight ahead. Now veers to the near side of the 10 to the 5. He's down in for the touchdown. 2nd touchdown of the game for Jackie Green. Scott Wall finally pulled him down, but it was 2. How long was that TD? How long was that touchdown? 13 yards. Dave Ober is kicking off, hits another low line drive at the 30, picked up by Rainer Summers at the 20. Summers coming to the near sideline to the 25, being strung out and pushed back at the 23, and goes down and around the 22-yard line as the Flyers had good cover.
Control the clock and the football.
So this is the first chance for Dubuque here in the 2nd half. From the 23-yard line, Steve Bercier wanting to throw the ball. He's going to be in trouble, and he'll go down as it was Sean Sullivan putting the bear hug grasp on. Running backs in the I formation, Lambert and Glasgow, the tailback. Morton wide to the left. Bercier rolls right, and strong safety gets him. Paul Reese got him, and there's a flag on the play.
And he got lucky. One of his men happened to be in the area.
Collins and Glasgow in the I formation, but Bercier wants to throw over the middle. It is incomplete as Morton was the intended receiver. Tim Muscle. Bercier will punt. First half he punted very nicely. 43-yard average for 6 punts. Hits an end-over-end kick here coming down to the 48-yard line where Tim Musselman makes the fair catch at the 48. So the 1:55 our pregame show airtime on WHIL radio.
Blackstock Stadium.
The running play to the Flyers, the fullback Norbert gets...
West Virginia West Wing is coming up, pal.
Where there are no facilities. Morris with a quick pass to Mouche. Charlie has it at the 44, pushed out of bounds and around the
football for the Flyers, and he's just happy to be here.
From the right hash mark, Dayton has a 1st down at the 40-yard line of the Dubuque Spartans. Morris hands the ball off to Dave Jones. Big hole up the middle to the 30-yard line, inside the 30, down to the 26-yard line. He unraveled 14 yards because the Flyers completely blew away. Green now sets up in the slot to the right. The single setback is Jones. Morris drops back, throws again at Mouche, incomplete. The quick hitter, Collins, the Flyer backfield. 2nd and 10. Morris hands the ball off to Collins, running straight ahead, and Andre getting to around the 21-yard line to pick up a receiver. Split 15 yards out wide to the left. Running backs in the eye with Jones and Green back in there. Todd Morris takes the handoff, pitches the ball back on a sweep to the near side to Jackie Green. Jackie lunges his way to around the 15-yard line. It should be enough for another 1st down. It was a 3rd and 5 play, and Green has given double tight end of Petrucci and Paul, bookending that Flyer front line, which has controlled the game today. Jones left. Norbert, the fullback, takes the handoff. Running off left tackle, picks up maybe 2 yards. Power running is Tim, ranked 3rd in the division. 2nd and 6 from the 11. The ball equidistant between sidelines. A running play and a kind of a misdirection play as Dave Jones, slow to get to the hole, finally pushes his way to around the 5 or 6 yard line. At that point, the Flyers operating with the full house backfield. 3rd down, less than a yard to go as Morris under center barks them out and takes the snap, hands the ball off to Norbert, who needs to get a half a yard for a first down. He stood up. I don't know if he got it or not. First and a few inches as the Flyers will break the huddle here today. 49-55.
Only missed it by 200.
The rain pregame held down the crowd a little bit, but it's a beautiful afternoon here now. There's the handoff. Hurdling his way over is Norbert. He's got a first down. So Norbert took the high road. That goal to go for the Flyers at the Dubuque 4-yard line. Full house backfield in the ball game. Morris calls the signals. Takes the handoff, throws over the middle, wide open, touchdown in the end zone. Tony Petrucci, the tight end, makes the grab, and Dayton now leads it 29-0.
They had 2 men wide open.
Petrucci with the score now. Dayton 30, Dubuque nothing.
Uno.
His 5th of the year and his first touchdown of the season.
Flyers have used almost 10 minutes of this quarter in scoring 2 touchdowns, man.
And Dubuque has it at the 37-yard line. Glasgow gets the call, and he goes down under an avalanche of red-shirted Flyers. He means value and convenience for the big and tall man. It's a quarterback, Bercier, keeping the football on a run up to the 37. He got back, but only
Giving Joe Neiman a rest.
3rd down and 10. Bercier going with a quick hitter over the middle. It's intercepted, picked off by Pierre Tismo. Tismo inside the 35, running the ball back inside the 20, inside the 15, and finally Tismo is touched out of bounds at around the 7-yard line as Pierre Tismo intercepts his 2nd pass of the season. That's the first interception by the Dayton defense today on the board. A 1st and goal to go, the 7-yard line. Nicholson is in the game, as is Godfrey, along with Jones in the full house backfield. There's the handoff to Jones. Power running his way inside the 5 to around the 4-yard line. Flyers have gone. It's Nicholson left, Jones center, and Godfrey right. There's the handoff to Jones off the right side. He's in for another touchdown. Dave Jones scoring a 3-yard touchdown run. Jones does, and they put another point on the board. 1:23 remaining 3rd quarter. Timeout on the field. Oberst again, a low kickoff. Finally picked up after fumbled a couple of times. Dubuque will reform. The ball equidistant between sidelines. The backs are in the I formation. Bercier remains the quarterback. He rolls left and now throws incomplete. Tried to hit Bill.
Chance that he just drilled the ball down.
So it's 2nd and 10. Dayton's defense showing a little blitz but backing off. Dayton has really not rushed that much here in this game. They've been settling back and playing just good sound defense as Bercier is being rushed out of bounds as he tried to.
Now at middle guard has made an awful lot of tackles this afternoon.
Ken Morton comes out wide to the left on 3rd and 11. Bercier drops back, throws over the middle. He's got a man. It's Matt Walker at the 40-yard line. Walker, the tight end, made the.
There's no real excuse for that. The receiver should know where that down marker is.
4th and 3. Bercier has been the best offensive weapon for Dubuque, and so he punts it again. Zimmer picks it up and runs it out of bounds at the 23-yard line.
9th punt of the ball game for Bercier, so he's been busy with his leg and his arm.
The Flyers have the ball at the 25-yard line. Hollinger, the quarterback, pitches the ball back on a sweep to Andre Collins, and Andre can't turn the corner. 37, and Dubuque, nothing. Own 25-yard line. Chris Shell, a wide receiver to the left side. It's a running play to Andre Collins, and Andre burrows his way out across the 30, keeping low to the ground.
Dayton has none.
It's 3rd and 2 for Dayton. Running backs line up in the I formation. Nicholson, the tailback, now steps up into the slot to the left, and get 3rd and 7 and push the ball back to the Flyer 28. This game being brought to you in part by Stroh's. Ask for White Mountain Cooler in new orange or regular citrus. It's fun getting to the bottom. Shell goes out wide to the right. Godfrey and Collins operate as the running backs. Hullinger on a bootleg, rolls right. He faked the run, wants to run it himself. Sweeps the corner on the right to the 30, down to the 40, running room to the 50, and finally he's pushed out of bounds, stepped out of bounds at the 37. So he was well on his way into Dubuque territory. Out of the deuce formation with Perrin in the slot to the left. Tim Eubank wide to the left. Scott Hullinger at quarterback wants to throw. He looks, and comes for Perrin, who makes the grab at the 45, and he's hit at the 44. So Perrin makes the grab. Stanley Deal was then on the tackle, number 2 quarterback. Forced into that situation due to Wilhelm's broken leg last week. First and 10, Dayton, 44-yard line, handoff to Andre Collins. Big hole. Andre busts the tackle, pushes his way to the 30-yard line. Collins hit Chris Kelly, the linebacker, and knocked him out of the way. Kelly is 190 and Collins 170, ringing wet.
Absolutely.
Slot to the right, Eubank wide to the right. Running backs from the eye. Hullinger looks over the defense, calls for the ball. Antoon snaps it to him. Hullinger drops the throw, looking into the end zone, throwing for Eubank. Touchdown! There's a flag on the play. 50 remaining in the game. Timeout on the field with the score.
To the 5 anyhow, Mick.
Well, let's see what he tries to do here. Allgaier takes a couple of steps and squibs it down to the 15-yard line, and they quickly fall on the ball. So Dubuque will retain.
It'll be interesting to see if they can get that first shutout this afternoon, Mick.
And there are 12 minutes and 50 seconds, nearly a full quarter remaining. Bercier at quarterback hands the ball off on a running play over the left tackle, and it's a gain of
everybody credit that's got credit coming to him.
Oh, what gave you that idea that we'd have number problems? I'm trying to figure out how they got 99 numbers.
You see Ray Wood, but yeah, we'll get to that.
Of course, C. Ray Wood is the head linesman. Here's a running play now to Billy Fox, the starting tailback in this game, and he'll get nowhere. Tackle.
Make sure they've got everything that they need. I shook hands with all of them, and I meant to ask C. Ray Wood what that meant, so that I could tell you, and I forgot. So,
what the C means, we'll have to find out in future weeks. The punt by Bercier is another good one. He has been punting very well in this game. He hits some. I think he doesn't like kicking on AstroTurf. Back in Dubuque, he's kicking in the mud right now. It's been raining there for about 3 weeks. Here's a running play on the first play to Andre Collins, and Andre going straight ahead, crosses the 3. The Flyers have the ball at their own 35-yard line. Running play now to Nicholson. He's got a big hole up the middle and a first down into Dubuque territory. Goes Nicholson inside the 50, inside to about the 44-yard. Comes to the sideline, gets a breather. The Flyers continue to put in some fresh running backs in there. Godfrey's the fullback along with Collins at tail. Hullinger handing the ball off on a running play to Godfrey, who gets inside to around the score, and it's 44-0 Dayton. 9.5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Hullinger at quarterback hands the ball off to Collins, who runs straight ahead and gets inside the 20 to around the 19-yard line. Nicholson operating at the fullback along with Collins, the tailback. Ed Perrin wide to the left. This is an option play. Hullinger will keep the ball to the 15, down to the 10, stiff arms his way to around the 7-yard line as Hullinger rolls for about 13 yards on the option. The quarterback keeper, Smeekle and Wall again.
To that quarterback core.
First and goal to go, Dayton at the Dubuque 7-yard line. Running backs are split. Hullinger hands the ball off to Nicholson, and Nicholson gets inside the 5, down to around the 4-yard line. Flyers in the lead. Running backs to the I formation, and now Nicholson steps up as the running back to the left side. The handoff to Godfrey on the left side. He waltzes in for an easy score. Touchdown, Dayton.
They caught him packed inside, thinking that's what they were going to do, is try to pound it at him. And
game from Welcome Stadium. The score mounts, and it's now Dayton 51. And